Odingo is a sign language interpreter. My name is John Jacob Curia. Welcome to the broadcast.
Good evening. I'm Regina Manyara.
Now, President William Ruto has called for the re-evaluation of interest rates by international lending institutions on loans acquired by the African continent for development.
Now, speaking on the sidelines of the 36th Africa Heads of State Summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, the president noted that development loans were expensive for Africans, calling upon reconsideration of the same to spur development across the continent.
Speaking on the sidelines of the 36th African Head of State Summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, President Ruto said the government is working on reorganizing this year's budget to cushion about 6 million people who are affected by severe drought. The president saying his government has spent more than 30 billion shillings feeding and accessing food for livestock, as well as water tracking.
We are going to reorganize our budget some more because the situation is not getting better, the situation is getting worse. So we are reassigning resources meant for development, resources meant for schools, resources meant for hospitals, to feed people, to feed livestock. And this year we are going to have the 5th consecutive year of failed rains. The phenomenon is not getting better, it's getting worse.
Further, the president also appealed to the international lending institutions to reevaluate the interest on loans acquired by the African continent. President Ruto said that the adjustment was necessary to ensure financial setup was fair to all.
We are paying 100 times more than our compatriots in the global north. And that is why we are saying we need to redesign. We need a new system that understands, that is accountable, that makes those who have brought us here to the climate crisis that we have, the emitters, the polluters, they need to be held to account, so that an accountable system that doesn't punish the least polluters and doesn't reward the most, those who pollute the most, a system that works for everybody. And we are not asking for any favors. We are not asking for a system that favors us. We are asking for a system that is even.
At the same time, the head of state called for fairness in addressing matters climate change, saying the African continent has been affected more, despite making a very little contribution to the climate change. The president also reaffirmed Kenya's commitment in stabilizing the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Kenya is the only country that has deployed in DRC. It was agreed that 5 countries deploy. Only Kenya has deployed. We are waiting, and we have agreed that by end of this month, all the other countries will deploy. We have agreed on a metrics of deployment. We have agreed on a course of action. We have agreed that this military intervention is going to be in parallel with a political engagement of the combatants on the ground, M23, and all the other fighting forces, so that we can give ourselves the best opportunity to succeed.
For Sunday Express, I'm Gladys Mongai.